Hello and welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you've already watched the first part in the series where I'm roaming about the Isle of Lewis and Harrison, Scotland, and if not, you'll be able to find the first part in the playlist probably just on the right hand side of the screen. So you join me just as I arrive at the Butt of Lewis Lighthouse off the north coast of the island. It was pretty late at night, if I remember right, I think about 8 or 9 o'clock. And just as I arrived, and there was a full moon in the sky, so everything was still pretty lit up given the time of night. It did mean, unfortunately, stars were completely out of the question. As much as it was a fairly calm night, the sound of the waves crashing off the rocks, the clouds overhead, the night sky, the lighthouse, it's just fantastic. I absolutely love a scene like this. I was a bit limited as far as a composition could go, just struggling to get a nice angle that caught the cliffs and the lighthouse, so I decided to opt for this panoramic, which turned out pretty well. Always a bit of a guesswork when you're doing these in the dark and just hoping that they piece together properly. There was a small section that didn't quite match up, but if you can't see it, I'll not tell you where it is. So the first day was pretty good. Some nice spots done. A wee recce of the lighthouse, and what I think will be a nice panorama, and probably where I'm going to do the sunrise shot from, although I think the actual best composition is probably going to actually be from the drone. That's if I get the sunrise, obviously. Just going to get a bit of dinner now at 25 to 10, a wee bit late, but so this is the downside to the car camping. It's nice. I've came away from the lighthouse because it's a no overnight parking list. Yeah, legally, yeah, but just the whole trying not to be an asshole. And I'm just down a random dead end road, parked up in the grass, well out the way. That's definitely the advantage of having a decent ground clearance and a 4x4, because that road definitely doesn't get used much and was not pretty. But it does mean that I'm very limited on space. Everything is very tight, even if it was just me, but you add in a dog, tons of camera equipment and all sorts, and a lack of flexibility, and things get pretty tight pretty quick. Tonight's dinner, can probably justify a big one. Spaghetti carbonara. This is one of my favourites. I love the spaghetti carbonara. So tasty. I'll have that, a wee cup of tea, and then it'll be bedtime. I'll get Nick some biscuits. So yeah, sunrise is at 8:15. Starts getting light about 7ish, and that's when blue hour starts kicking in. So I'll set the alarm for just before 7. It's literally a 2-minute drive and I'm back up to that lighthouse. And fingers crossed we get a wee bit of light. But anyway, I'm going to make this and pretty much go to my bed. So I'll see you tomorrow, which might be a new episode. It probably will be a new episode because I'm going to put the lighthouse in its own dedicated one. Oh. I have already been at the lighthouse. This ending After the short drive up to the lighthouse, I just got some stuff packed away and got Nick's her breakfast. I always hold off until later on for having mine. There was a couple of toilets that I made use and got changed into some fresh clothes and had a nice wee clean up which consisted of a spray of deodorant. Remember kids, what do we say about cliffs? Up to the edge and have a look. But, take care and be safe. After having a nosy about and confirming there have been no major geological changes or earthquakes since the night before, I just headed up to where I was. As pleasant as the morning was, unfortunately there was barely a cloud in the sky, so that golden sun had nothing to bounce off, and the photo that resulted wasn't really up to much. I definitely prefer the nighttime composition that I got. It's got a lot more impact and a bit more interest in the sky. Thankfully my attention waned from the lighthouse a wee bit and I noticed that the sunrise was creating these fantastic silhouettes of the Scottish mountains behind in the distance. Filled with newfound excitement, I sprinted as fast as I could to a new location, swinging by the car to grab my 150-600 lens while I did, just knowing that I'd want to zoom in as much as I could and capture the details of these mountains. And if you're ever wondering what my most unjustified purchase and least utilised is, it's this lens. I've used it a handful of times. I've got to say it is an incredible lens, but I can't really justify the fact that I've bought it. With the lens already on and a few birds kicked about, I decided to pretend I knew what I was doing when it came to wildlife photography and snapped a couple of shots. None of these are fantastic, it is very much not a strong area for myself. Skipping breakfast always gets to you eventually. My stomach was very much grumbling, so I returned to the car and got myself sorted. Protein yogurt, granola and a caffeinated drink. What a way to start the day.
It's called a jollop. This is what they give the horses when they're not shiting regular.
And on that note, I'll bring this video to an end. We've still got plenty more adventures to go on Lewis and Harris, so follow up for next week. Make sure you don't miss that by hitting the subscribe button, and a like and a comment is always appreciated. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and as always, thank you and goodbye.
I got a feeling I see the spot.